Meanwhile,
On this profile, there was a post, and it directly names two people, Nuraan and Hendricks, and Sharni Philander. The post accuses them, flat out, of rejoicing in Tharwah's death at a party, which, okay, that alone is highly inflammatory.
Oh, yeah.
But the text goes further, much further. It contains this chillingly direct threat. I'm quoting directly from the source material here. You bastard. You told her Friday you gonna kill her. You told her she won't see the end of the weekend, and boom, it happened just so.
Wow.
Okay, so let's jump right into what our sources are calling a major breakthrough. They actually describe it as a smoking gun. It's a set of screenshots from a Facebook profile. And, you know, in a case with so much rumor and speculation swirling around, finding something like this, it feels concrete, captured evidence that might actually shift things.
Yeah.
Now, the details in this profile, they're quite specific. The screenshots show a page for someone named Mirinda Bachi-Snyman, which our source points out pretty quickly is almost certainly a fake name, of course. But what makes it really relevant is that this profile, it was active just days, literally days, before our sources grabbed these screenshots. So we're not talking about some old dead account. This was live, recent.
Right, very recent activity.
But here's where the content itself gets, well, incredibly stark. On this profile, there was a post, and it directly names two people, Nuraan and Hendricks, and Sharni Philander. The post accuses them, flat out, of rejoicing in Tharwah's death at a party, which, okay, that alone is highly inflammatory.
Oh, yeah.
But the text goes further, much further. It contains this chillingly direct threat. I'm quoting directly from the source material here. You bastard. You told her Friday you gonna kill her. You told her she won't see the end of the weekend, and boom, it happened just so.
Wow. That's incredibly specific.
Incredibly specific. And this post, allegedly from a witness, was made within days of Tharwah's death, which the source calls an execution. The timing is alarming, the accusation is explicit, and then the horrific fulfillment of that exact threat, just like the post said, boom, it happened just so.
It gives that statement huge weight, doesn't it?
Immense weight. Yeah, the specificity is what's so chilling.
And then what happens, just as our sources start digging into this digital lead, the Facebook page, gone, vanished, deactivated, just like that. The source doesn't mince words. They call the deactivation of that profile the smoking gun. It feels like someone realized, oh no, we left this out there, and scrambled to erase it. Yeah, and from an investigative perspective, that immediate deactivation, it's not just about hiding one post. It signals intent. Think about it. First, creating a profile under a fake name that already suggests deception, right? Anonymity. Then the post itself. So direct, accusatory, that chilling detail. It points to someone with either, very close knowledge or maybe a deliberate plan to frame things to link those people to the death. But the vanishing act, after attention is drawn to it, that really looks like potential concealment. Deliberate concealment. It shifts the focus for investigators, doesn't it? Now you have to try and prove who deactivated it and why. What was the strategy? It's like a digital cover-up attempt. And often, the act of removing something leaves its own traces. Digital breadcrumbs.
Right.
Forensic teams would be looking for that. Because sometimes the attempt to hide evidence just ends up highlighting how important or maybe how authentic it really was.
That forensic angle, yeah, that's definitely key. Okay, let's shift gears a bit, though, because our sources, they make it really clear very quickly that this isn't just about jealousy over a man anymore. That initial kind of simpler story, it starts to come apart when you look at the deeper conflict the sources reveal. They talk about the real beef, as they put it. And it seems to run deep. The same source confirms something pretty stunning, actually. Tharwah and Nuraan Hendricks, the same Nuraan named in that vanished Facebook post, they had 7 pending court cases between them. 7. That's not a small spat, not a one-off dispute.
7 pending cases.
Yeah.
That number itself tells a story, points to an extraordinary level of animosity.
Legal entanglement.
What does that really imply, though? 7 cases, what kind of hostility are we talking about?
Well, 7 pending court cases. It's basically signifies a legal war, a relentless one, often expensive too. You could be looking at multiple restraining orders, maybe assault allegations, civil claims, maybe custody battles over kids, each one a separate front in their fight, where the legal system itself becomes, a tool, a weapon in their hostility.
Wow.
It shows a total systemic breakdown in their relationship. Deep grievances, a sustained aggressive conflict. This isn't just a disagreement that blew up. It's a long, intense personal feud, and that dramatically deepens any potential motive, right? It goes way beyond a single moment of anger. It's just a history, a pattern of really adversarial interaction.
You're right. That sheer volume, it just screams intense animosity. And it makes you wonder, with that level of constant conflict, what other forces might have gotten tangled up in it, because the picture gets even more complicated. Our source reveals another critical piece. After Tharwah died, Nuraan and Hendricks went back to her child's father, a man named Sidwell. Now, this isn't just, a personal update. It connects to something much bigger, more dangerous. We're told this man, Sidwell, he has serious influence in the drug world, in Pelican Park specifically. So you connect this long, nasty feud, the court cases, to a figure with serious influence in the drug scene. How does that change things? How does it expand the scope here?
Oh, dramatically. That connection escalates everything, the potential motives, the level of danger surrounding Tharwah's death. It all goes up. Someone with serious influence in the drug world, they aren't just like a minor player. They're often central to an illicit economy, one that runs on intimidation, territory, enforcement. Often through violence, unfortunately. So if you place that long, bitter feud in this context, it's not just personal anymore, is it? It becomes a conflict potentially tied to power control, a world where violence is, frankly, currency. That kind of influence suggests access to resources, loyalty, and crucially, the capacity for serious violence, retaliation. It shifts our understanding from maybe a personal dispute, however bad, to something potentially tangled up with organized crime, systemic violence. The stakes just got considerably higher for everyone involved.
That reframing is it's profound. And it leads us to look deeper at Tharwah herself. Because the sources are really clear. She wasn't just some passive victim caught in a simple feud or a love triangle. No. Tharwah was apparently a central figure in this whole dangerous game. High stakes, powerful enemies. Her life, it seems, was deeply woven into the fabric of this very environment. Think about this detail from the source. One of Tharwah's kids was being raised in Hanover Park. This is, of course, the rivalry between the two fathers because they belong to rival gangs. And that's not just a sad family situation. It puts Tharwah right at the intersection of these entrenched, violent gang rivalries. Having kids with guys from rival gangs, how does that underscore just how embedded she was in this danger?
Critically. Yeah, that detail is vital. It shows just how embedded she was. Incredibly volatile, dangerous environment. When you have children with men from rival gangs, your personal life, it automatically becomes a connection point, a potential flashpoint for the wider gang conflicts.
Right, it links everything.
Exactly. It means even the most private parts of her life, her family, they were directly exposed to the dangers of these rivalries. It's more than just living nearby. It shows she had direct personal ties to active participants in, well, a very violent world. It illustrates her life wasn't separate from these power structures. She was, maybe by circumstance, maybe by choice, a key part of their complex, often tragic dynamics. It definitely moves her story beyond just being a victim. She was, in some ways, a player in a high-stakes game.
And that brings us to what I found maybe the most compelling claim in the sources. That Tharwah wasn't just a girl caught in a love triangle. No. She was described as a central figure in a dangerous game with high stakes and powerful enemies. And the source goes even further. Claims she had the world's secrets, that she knew too much. This isn't just about what happened to her. It's about what she knew. The power and the danger in that knowledge.
Knew too much. That phrase always stands out in these situations.
It really does. And the implication is huge. The source says, the people she was connected to are feeling the burn now that we're exposing the truth, which suggests her death. And now this investigation digging into it, it's causing ripples, exposing others, upsetting some kind of balance of power. So when you hear that claim she knew too much, how do you interpret that, specifically through the lens of these gang rivalries and drug world connections?
Well, this is where all the pieces sort of synthesize, right? Where the full picture starts to emerge. The idea that she had the world's secrets or knew too much within a context of drug influence and gang war, that's profoundly significant. In those circles, knowledge isn't just power, it can be a massive liability.
A death sentence, potentially.
Potentially, yes. It suggests she might have known things about operations, about power plays, maybe past crimes, things that, if they got out, could take down networks, expose people, maybe even ignite new conflicts. And that statement, people she was connected to are feeling the burn now. It points to a network of individuals who had a very strong interest in keeping those secrets buried.
Right.
A vested interest in silence. Exactly. So her death. It could be seen not just as the end result of personal feuds, but maybe as a strategic move to silence her, to prevent critical information getting out. It forces us to consider that targeting Tharwah might have been calculated to protect ongoing operations or the powerful people behind them. And that raises a really heavy question, doesn't it? What secrets was so important that keeping them quiet could lead to this? And what does it mean for finding justice when those secrets still hang in the air, even after she's gone?
What a path we followed through these sources today. Wow. We started with that shocking vanished Facebook profile, didn't we? That digital clue threatening Tharwah, naming Nuraan Hendricks and Sharni Philander just days before the killing. Then we dug into that deeper, relentless beef between Tharwah and Nuraan. 7 pending court cases, a clear sign of just how bad things were between them.
A really deep-seated conflict.
Yeah. From there, the story just expanded. Nuraan's connection to Sidwell, the man with serious influence in the Pelican Park drug world. Suddenly, it wasn't just personal. It was tied into power, control, violence as currency.
A much bigger, more dangerous picture.
And finally, we looked at Tharwah herself. Not just a victim, but central. Embedded in gang rivalries through her kids' fathers. A woman who apparently had the world's secrets, knew too much. Making her a target. With high stakes, powerful enemies. This deep dive, it's really unveiled this incredibly complex, frankly chilling web of power, control, secrets, all surrounding her tragic death.
It's a sobering look at how interconnected these worlds can be.
It really is. And it's a stark reminder, isn't it, of how hard but how important it is to seek truth. Especially when digital evidence can just disappear. When the stories are tangled up with these powerful unseen forces, one of our sources put it so well, the real disrespect is pretending we didn't see it. And I think today we've really tried to see it.
Who's that?
So as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe here's something for you, the listener, to think about. In our world now, so digital, where vital clues can appear and then just vanish. How does that constant possibility of erasure change things? How does it change our search for truth, for justice? Something to ponder.